building and communicating with a database of pet people. Whether you're in rescue or real estate or any other profession, I hope you guys get a lot out of this talk. For those of you that don't know me, this has been the best way I can call it is my thesis in real estate, right? Is that right. if I take the money that I spend on advertising and I put it into the rescue community, the ROI on that is far better. It has been my whole career. And now I've kind of said, okay, now it's time to jump full bore into that side of it. So I think we all know why we keep a database, right? But for the rescue folks that don't keep one, first off, most of the rescue community does. They just use Pet Established or they use one of these other programs. There are tons of free ways to keep a database. So if you are not keeping one in real estate, you're going to be left behind if you're not already left behind, right? And I think this is what I can tell you. In my career, I've never met a real estate agent who said, I kept my database going perfectly all the time. Every single one I've ever met has said, I should have done better with my database. So to me, that says no matter how good you do, you could be doing better. So what we're going to cover here, pretty simple. How do you find your people? So this has been my focus the last 6 months. How to organize your database, and then how to communicate with that database. And the different things that we're using with Real Estate Pet Project and with the pack to be able to do exactly that. So how do you find your people? You know, I was tasked by one of my coaches to describe my perfect client, right? My perfect client is a pet owner. What's interesting is it's really somebody who owns 2 or more pets. For some reason, one pet isn't the same. But
it's not.
So 2 or more pets, typically middle to upper middle class, right? That follows along with what happens in the rescue community. That's really my ideal client. So if I know that if I focus on finding those people, the ancillary business you get will keep you going. So that's what I did. I started looking at every way that I could collect every pet owner in my area. I'm in St. Louis, and figure out ways to keep in contact with them. So what's interesting is I'm not sure if you guys saw the NAR stat just recently that said 52% of households have a pet, and 43% of them would move because of their pet. I thought that was really interesting.
What was the second one? 52% and one would move?
The other one is 43% would move because of their pet.
And that's NAR.
That's an NAR stat. So it's got to be higher than that.
Yeah.
To me, 60% of pet owners 70% would move because of their pet, for sure. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about how to collect those names, where to find them, how to organize the database so that you can keep in contact with them and their pets, which is really where it gets fun, right? And then how to communicate with them on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. So a couple things that we're doing to find our pet people, right? The first one, of course, is paid sources, right? It's also the most expensive. We all know that. But whether you're using Facebook or whether you're using Google pay-per-click, LinkedIn, TikTok, what am I missing? Instagram, whatever you're using that's a paid source, there are ways to target the rescue community or to target pet people. One of the ads that we run that gets us a lot of our, we do a lot of big animals as well. We run ads for mini farms. For those people that are looking for land, that are looking for acreage. That's a big one. And then we also run a lead magnet ad we have a guide to moving with your pet. And so we have a lead ad that goes with that says sign up here and we'll send you the free guide to moving with your pet. And just so you guys know, I made that on ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT, it's the most wonderful thing in the world. But we made that on ChatGPT. All of our pack members, so everybody in the Real Estate Pet Project that's part of the pack has access to that. So if anybody's watching, let me know if you don't have it, and I will share it with you. Raffles are another great free way, or really the first free way I would go about doing it, because you use the money from the raffle to buy the raffle item. You get to donate a bunch of money to the rescue, and you collect names and phone numbers. The last one we did, we collected $1,200. We gave away a quilt, which I think cost $300, and I ended up with 800 names. So, you know, for basically free and realistically a little bit of time, it was ready to go. Raffles I really like, and what we're doing is we're doing a raffle every couple months now.
Yeah.
You know, just makes sense. Events are another one, and this one I really put in here for the rescue community, because as agents, we know when we're running events, we want to collect information. Rescues run a lot of events, and they don't even run an Eventbrite for people to sign up. The best way to keep in contact with them and to invite it, the best way to find people who are going to come to your next event is from the people who came to your last one. You know, and it amazes me that the rescue community, nobody's ever sat down and helped them with that. So if you're looking for ways you can help the rescue community as agents, helping them organize that contact list and use it is probably the single biggest thing you can do. And it's things that we all know we have to do in our own business. So events, even if you're just sponsoring an event, so the rescue's doing an event and you're a sponsor and you have a table, there better be a giveaway to collect names. And most people just stand there and hand out cards. I don't want to hand out anything. You want to know something funny? For all my real estate friends, I don't carry business cards. You know why I don't carry business cards? Because I don't want to give people my number. I want to get theirs. So I don't carry business cards. It's useless. So photo contest. This was something new that I started putting together, and I found a really cool company called Go Photo Contest. The way it works is when people submit their photo, it's like $5, I think is what we're charging for them to submit their photo. And then it's $1 per vote. What that does, again, brings in money for the rescue, and everybody's sharing it out so that their dog wins. So you're getting all of these different people going, look at me, look at me, look at me. So as long as you brand it correctly, we're doing it here in St. Louis with 2 different big rescues, No Time to Spare, who we work with all the time, and Yuppie Puppy. And we're doing it with 2 because we want to get a bigger reach. And our focus for that is we're raising money to pay off vet bills. So that's kind of our hook to why we're doing it. And then the winner will get a t-shirt with the picture that won. I think they're getting a t-shirt, a mug, and something else for the t-shirt for the one that wins. And then like second price just gets the t-shirt or something like that. My wife has that part. I'll figure it out.
Joe, can I ask a quick question about that?
Yeah.
Are you the one that's handling that, taking the $5 submit, and the one is, or does Go Photo Contest run the whole thing for you?
Go runs it all for you.
Okay, great. And then they give you what the profit is after their take?
So they take 15%.
Okay.
Up to the first 15 or first $5,000. And then I think it drops to 5%.
Okay.
For everything after that. Which the reality is, you can't run it yourself because the credit card processing fees.
Yeah.
They don't want, nobody wants, you can't find a processor who wants to process dollar payments.
Okay, so, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want the link, I can send it to you.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I just started looking and I found it, and we've been getting ours ready because I think it's going to be a fun thing we can do. And once I think we set it up once, it's just going to be easy to do over and over again.
Mhm.
You know, and we're doing it. I think our first one is going to be called, it's going to be called That's Not Comfortable. Oh, no, it's not. It's Spring is in the Hair.
Spring is in the hair. Nice.
Spring is in the hair, and it's their dogs outside in the spring.
I like the comfortable
one
one too, though, because I say that to mine. How is that comfortable?
That one we did just
How
as
is that comfortable?
right. I like that one too. Organic social media, you know, reaching out and finding your people through social media is not that difficult. One of the things that works really nicely is asking questions, right? That gets people to share. Also, running any type of rescue story. So if you're working with a rescue and you can talk with them about the stories, we do a lot of video stories with various animals that are at No Time to Spare. We're able to work with them to promote it, and the followers and things like that that we get from those, they'll stay with us forever because they're invested in the story. Sarah, you've probably seen some of the videos. Like I just had a foster puppy.
Yeah, I definitely have. I have one. I have a foster right now too that I'm failing. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
She went home Sunday.
It's so hard.
It was hard. It was hard. But she went to the right people, and that I felt good about.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I've talked to them every day since. They've messaged me every day since with pictures.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
You know, and the farm rescue that we did, you know, just sharing that information. And it's, if you're doing it right, the rescues aren't doing it. The other thing is offering those free guides, free guide to buying a home. Like I said, we have our guide to moving with pets. We actually have a guide to buying a mini farm that we made for one of our pack members. So all of those, I think, are good hooks for people to give you their information. And you can do those without doing paid ads. You don't have to do paid ads to do that. Shared advertising. So this is something we're getting ready to start with one of our partners here. And that is, they're giving us their list. We're then doing Facebook ads to that list. And the trade-off is we're running a 3-ad campaign. One ad is just us. One ad is us and our involvement with the rescue that we're involved with. And the last one is just for the rescue. So that way they're getting a lot of branding themselves from what you're doing in exchange for sharing their email list. And any rescue folks that watch this, that's what's valuable. When you want businesses to donate, and that's what from an agent standpoint, my goal with businesses is I keep tracking. Sarah can probably attest to this. I know where every single piece of business that I've ever done came from.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I can, in real numbers, show any one of my business friends, this is the money that I spend helping rescue, and this is the return I get out of it. That alone, that's what the rescue community doesn't have. If you go to American Cancer Society, they have those numbers in a chart for you. They don't have that in the rescue community. And that's what's valuable to the businesses, is that relationship that you have. So that shared advertising, I think, is going to be a huge way to build branding for the rescues that otherwise wouldn't be getting it. Ideas or anybody have questions at this point? Anything I missed, Ralph?
So far I understand everything, and I was actually getting notes done right now. But so far, you're doing a good job.
Awesome. Angelique, do you have anything?
Nope, I'm good.
All righty. So we'll go on to organizing your database, right? This is going to be pretty simple for everybody in real estate. But I'm going to give you a couple things that couple pieces of information that we're keeping. For all the rescue folks, you'll hear us talk CRM in real estate, client relationship managers. Those are the softwares that you use to keep in touch with your clients. There are a lot of them that offer a free version for nonprofits. I think iContact's one of them. So anybody in the rescue community, if you need help finding one, let me know. And I think we have a list of 4 or 5 of them that offer a free option to nonprofits. This is how you're organizing your people and how you're systematically keeping in touch, because otherwise what happens is we keep in touch when we can and we lose people. The second key component to organizing your database is keeping and collecting complete information. So the first 2 things that I want, if I can only have 2 pieces of information, I want name and phone number. Just me. Some people say name and email address. I say name and phone number. My third, I'd like to say email, but it's probably a social media connection, either through Facebook or Instagram is probably number 3. And then probably 4 is email. But there's also a lot of things that you can keep that we're currently collecting, such as pets' names, the type of pets. I think my wife is even now collecting breed, because, you know, people, when they're with a specific breed, a lot of people only ever have that breed of dog. We're also keeping track of, I know some people that keep track of pets' birthdays or pets' gotcha days. And I think the gotcha days one is fun. I also, one thing that we did just recently to collect pets' names, I'm sure you guys have seen somebody post, like, share your dog's name in a picture. I did that, but I did that only so that I could have all my clients' pets' names.
Smart.
So, well, it was a whole lot easier than having to call everybody.
I was going to do an
especially
email
when-
blast. I was
Right.
thinking about doing an email blast, but I might do that in connection with a photo contest
I think an email blast would work really well too.
to my through my CRM, because it's a pretty robust system from Keller Williams. So
Yeah. And so are you using Command?
yes,
So Command, I believe there's actually a preset field for pet's name.
there is, and we're actually creating a couple extra fields right now as we speak. So
Yeah, I thought that there was, because I was with KW until just recently, and that was one of the big things that we were pushing for, because if you can market to the pet, it helps, man. It really does.
it definitely does.
I even think knowing the type of events they like to go to, you know, like I have a tag, so I use Follow Up Boss, and I have a tag for every single event that we do. And that's so I can look and I can say, well, this person came to, we didn't do it this year, but usually we do a spring fling out at the rescue, because the rescue we work with has farm animals and things like that. And so we do a barbecue out there. I know who's been to every single one of those barbecues, right? I know who's been invited to everyone, plus who's come to everyone. And I think that information is valuable, because some people, you know, I have some very big animal people who are never going to come to an event. They're not. That's just not the type of people they are, you know? So I have to communicate with them differently than I do with the people who say, hey, I'm going to come and I'm going to bring 45 people to your next event. You know, we're getting ready to do another guest bartender event. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. That was fun last time.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions or any things that you guys are doing, or collect any piece of information you're collecting that I missed?
I'll go. So I just this year announced I've been working on this for years and years and years. So when I saw your group on Facebook, Joe, you have no idea how excited I was, because I was terrified to do it, because I'm like, it's not going to work. You know, that limiting belief that Keller Williams tells us.
Right.
So, but I've been working on it. I've been doing it bits and pieces. I work with a bunch of different rescues and a bunch of different stuff. So I launched, just not even 3 months ago, Pet Friendly CNY, a Facebook group, to pull all of the people that I know locally through rescue, through my clientele. And I really put it out there as, I don't know, my computer's doing that, guys. I'm sorry if I'm going to mute myself, or, to pull really a bridge also between the rescue community and the pet owner community, because there's such a gap a lot of the time that people don't, traditional pet owners have no idea what it's like being in rescue. And then sometimes you're in rescue so hard, you forget what it's like to just be a regular pet owner. So I've been trying to bridge that gap also by bringing people together through the thing. I've been collecting and I'm starting to disseminate resources. Where are the best dog parks? Where are the best hiking trails that allow your pets? Where are some of the stores and the providers and the services that people within the group already have had amazing experiences with, and creating feedback and testimonials that way. I'm almost to 500 people. And when we do that, we're doing a huge giveaway. I've already got 2 local businesses on board that are pet friendly grooming and natural pet food. We're going to be doing a lot of that together. I'm hoping to do a rescue event in the spring, actually right at my office, because we have 2 very large parking lots and a big green space. So I'm kind of doing all of that in addition to, you know, what I do as a regular real estate agent. Oh, and I'm starting to do photos that are me showing houses to dogs instead of their parents, which I'm super excited about because it's a lot of fun.
Well, so the one thing I would be thinking of is questions you can ask in that group that get you email addresses.
Yes, that's what we've been working on. I had the pet like a pet contest, photo contest, and we were also going to do a giveaway, like for everybody that gives us your contact and shares it with like 3 people that give us our contact, you're entered into the drawing, like something like that.
Yeah.
You know, invite 3 of your pet parents, friends, and then you, and as long as we get everybody's contact information, because I have the resources. So the natural food place and the grooming pet play place have already agreed to donate. I'm doing goodie bags too, where I'm going to create goodie bags and they're going to be at the pet food store. They're going to get a coupon and a treat, and then also my contact information for just giving me their name and contact information. So I'm doing a bunch of different things. So, but this is great too. I always forget about ChatGPT. I got to learn how to use that.
Yeah. And I'm learning and I'm slowly using it more and more. What I can say is, from coming up with ideas, it's good. That's what I think it's best for.
Yeah, because I'm great with the ideas, but then writing everything for that ideas is the hard part. I just don't have enough time to do it all.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. It. All right. So we're going to go on real quick to communicating with the database, right? Because we all know that we need to, but how exactly do you go about communicating with the database? And what unique ideas are we currently using? So I think the basics, the very first one that everybody should have is a newsletter. A newsletter, once you create the template, should take you under an hour each time you send it, because it should just be collecting information. Our newsletter for Spotted Dog Property Group here in St. Louis is actually, it's the title of it every time is so-and-so's rescue story and a little real estate. And so we have a rescue story from No Time to Spare or one of our other rescue partners every single time. That's the thing that leads off of our newsletter. It's the reason people open it to start. They see our name, they see our logo. It's not about people reading your newsletter. It's about people seeing your newsletter. It's the reality. Social media, there's a ton of things you can do on social media. I'll show you some of the things we're doing. But from a rescue standpoint and a real estate standpoint, I think the single biggest thing you can do is short form video educating the public. Because one thing that blows me away is how many of my clients or friends that aren't rescue people are excited when they call me with a dog to give to rescue. They just don't get it. It's not that they're not trying to be good people. They just don't understand the struggle that the rescue community goes through. So being able to share those videos, that educational piece, you know, what plants are poisonous for your animal, the more you can tie it back to houses, obviously, the better. But 100%, you should be using social media to further that relationship with each and every one of your people. Everything you make should be going on multiple social media channels as well. I'll show you a couple things that we're doing that get a lot of shares, a lot of engagement, because that's really what it's for. You're not going to count social media by the number of people who sent you money. You need to count it by the number of people who are interacting because of it. Text, this is for real estate, but also, I mean, I've used texting to invite people to events, and it's amazingly effective. So text is open still 93% of the time versus email, I think, is 8%. I think a good email newsletter gets opened about 20% of the time. Be sure that you understand, for all the rescue people who aren't used to this, be sure you understand the rules around texting. There's some very specific rules about what you're allowed to do, what has to be in the text, as far as people being able to opt out and all of that kind of stuff. But text is still incredibly powerful. The other thing is, event invites shouldn't just be used to invite. They should also be used as a touch point, right? In Keller Williams, they talk about 37 touches, right?
Yeah.
My touch point's like 70, but 12 of those are event touches, because a month before you get an invite, a week before you get a reminder invite, and then you get a recap the day or two after the event. That doesn't just go to the people who came. That goes to every single person. So right there, that's 9 of your touches if you do it. If you just do that. And I think that there's a storyline that people will follow when you're talking events. These are a couple of the things that we currently do with the PAC at Real Estate Pet Project. So our PAC members have access to all of these things, but we did one that was meeting and choosing your dog. Here's the things to think about. And then there's a did you know. These go out. These are just fun. The did you knows are like random, silly animal facts. I don't know. We started doing them and people liked them, so we started sharing them out to everybody.
I mean, it makes sense. I share the weirdest stuff on Facebook all the time. There was like,
Well, and I'd rather it be
something.
something that comes from us, that people are going, oh my gosh, that makes sense. You know,
Mhm.
We share this also. So anybody rescue that ends up watching this, any of our rescue friends that want our templates, all of that stuff that we make education wise, you are welcome to it. Just message me and I will get it over to you. All the rescue folks are allowed. And then the PAC members get that shared as well. Shared video, we talked about that a little bit, but being able to create short form video and collaborate with the rescue does 2 things. One, it helps the engagement for the business making the video, and it builds content for the rescue organization. So it hits both sides of the coin. We've been hearing this for how long, that that video is the future. It's not. It's now. If you're not using video in your business, you are already behind the 8 ball. Rescues have a hard time. They don't have the money to fund that. You know, if you could get out and do like we did with the farm rescue, where really, I've just brought my daughter and she shot video the whole time we were there. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be usable that people can share. And quarterly calls, for agents have been doing this for 70 years, right? Making quarterly calls. Every quarter I call my past clients and my sphere of influence in that. From a rescue standpoint, I'd be making quarterly calls to all of those volunteers that only come to events that you don't get to see otherwise, that you don't get to spend that personal time with. Anybody that's donated big amounts of money, I would try to make a quarterly call and just say, hey, I was just checking up on you. I know it's going to take time, but I 100% assure you it's time well spent. I mean, to put it bluntly, phone calls work. They work. They've worked. They've always worked. It's still, if I'm prospecting for my business, the single best use of my time is still making phone calls 100% of the time. Mailers. So this is something we've been doing for Real Estate Pet Project for a while, is we do postcards every single month that our PAC members get. that they can send out. Snail mailing is a very underrated option for keeping in contact right now. There's just not that many people using it, and especially postcards. I mean, I would be surprised if most of you get one postcard a month, let alone multiple. So the one I'll show you, the one that we did this month. And then pop buys, there's so many things you can do pop buys around their animals, whether it's dog treats, poop bags. I know we actually, for any agents, you can watch on our YouTube channel and you can see some of the pop buy. We did a whole mastermind on pop buys just recently. And one of the things we came up with doing was like a good neighbor kit. Like it has poop bags and it has like a sorry note and you know what I mean? Or an introduction note, something like that. You could do something like that. There's so many different pop buys you could do. So this was how my mind works. Doing new dog tags every 3 years. Because then think about this, Sarah. You call them and you say, hey, I'm making your dog tag for this time. And I want to put the address on. Are you guys going to stay where you're at? Or
It's
should I
so
wait?
smart. I love that.
Right?
That's so good. Yes.
So
That's
we were
good.
talking about that the other day. And I'm like,
Mhm.
we need to be doing that every 3 years, make a new dog tag for people. I mean, you could do it every year. Dog tags, if you order them, are way cheaper than getting them at PetSmart.
Yeah.
They're like,
Even better if I
$2.
can find a local like vendor that's got the machine or something.
and you can do it with, you can do like plastic ones with, what's that thing my wife has? Cricket.
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally
can
forgot
make-
about that.
Yeah, you can make plastic ones with Cricket. I think all of those are cool pop buys. We even talked about doing, like even just dropping some of the educational pieces to people when it's coming to heartworm time or flea.
It's Heartworm Awareness Month. I just was working on a post for it today.
We did a heartworm mailer a little while back,
Mhm.
which is the only reason we didn't use it for this. So April is Canine Fitness Month. Did you know that?
No, wait, so March was Heartworm Awareness Month? I thought April
No,
was.
March is also, it's that also.
Oh, okay.
There's
All
a
right.
bunch of, there's
Okay.
always a bunch. But that April was Canine Fitness Month. So we were like, hey,
Very cool.
let's make a mailer about reasons it's good to exercise your dog, right? I will bet you if you talk to any veterinarian anywhere in the country, the number one problem with pets is the same as the number one problem with Americans, and it's obesity. It is. I'm sorry. So helping people with their dogs in those situations, I think is huge. March is Pet Poison Awareness Month. And so we did one about how to find the signs of poisoning in your pet. These are important. I mean, these are things that they're going to read, they're going to keep. And like I said, we make one. All of our pack members with Real Estate Pet Project, they all get that design the month before so that they can send it out. And it's just a postcard. And then our thank you cards are actually customized the same way. So that everything we do is reminding them of our mission. I am a huge believer that the next generation, from everything I've studied, they want to work with companies who are even more socially conscious than the last generation, right? It's the reason that Bombas Socks is the number 1 or number 2 sock maker in the world right now, right? It's the reason that Warby Parker is the number 3 eyeglass company after nobody broken into that business for 70 something years. That social mission is what's going to keep people coming back to you. And so reminding them consistently and softly, you'll very seldom see us say anything out. The biggest reminder that we do is on a lot of our stuff, it'll say, and I totally stole this, Jamie will watch this later. I totally stole this from Jamie DeSimone. It says, your referrals help save homeless animals. That's it.
Oh,
really
that's
the
good.
only discussion that we use on that. But everything we do based around what we do in the rescue community. Any questions, ideas, things that you guys are currently using that I didn't come up with, or things that or questions you have about what we're currently doing?
What is you keep saying pack members and what they get? Is that like, I must have missed that somewhere. Like, is
Oh,
that
sorry.
something where we sign up for and join with you, or?
Yeah, so the pack is kind of our inner circle at Real Estate Pet Project. It's our coaching and marketing platform.
Okay.
And so everybody that's a pack member gets access to, actually, let me pull it up. They get 2 social media templates a week. They get their mailer every month. Let me pull up the other things. We do, we actually do a video planning call every week because so many of us are doing video in our businesses now. I won't let that go away.
Maybe it's something you can send me later too, or I can.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you.
Okay.
I'll send it over to you so you can see. But yeah, that's our kind of inner circle. We didn't really release it to everybody at the beginning, mainly because we wanted to perfect it and make sure that it was working the way we wanted. But the goal is to be able to put all of our minds together and help the rescue community, because everybody that's involved in the pack, their rescues are automatically involved. And so we all try to help, whether it's fundraising ideas, and you need Chris from Chicago, who, if you've never met Chris is the one that will do fundraisers that are $200,000 and stuff.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I hit like 2,500 in one of the ones I did, and I was psyched.
She gave away an Airstream trailer.
Oh my God. Wow.
Right? I was telling her that's what people don't think about, though. A lot of times they don't think it's that limiting belief.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Yep.
And that's why what we said was, hey, how do we take the skills that each of us have and use that for every rescue? Allow every rescue to have the access to all of us. And that's really where the pack came out of. So I'll share more with you.
That'd be great.
We can find the time to chat more.
Yeah, definitely.
In the meantime, any other questions? Angelique, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And I will talk to you guys. If anybody hasn't seen, the 18th, we have Marnie from Kitten College. So she's coming on to do a mastermind on kitten fostering. Marnie is the top of the line mind when it comes to kitten neonatal kitten foster. Kitten College is a program that was built out of Animal Welfare League of Arlington, in Arlington, Virginia, and rescues pay Marnie to come and help them set up their kitten foster programs. So we asked her if she would come and talk to us. She's friends with Jamie. And then we're going to have, so if your rescue friends want to come to that, I can send you the Eventbrite, because I want to have all the rescue people be able to pick Marnie's brain, because she is amazingly bright. And she understands how to structure kitten foster programs better than anybody else in the world.
Yeah, definitely send me the link.
Yeah, it'll be shared onto the group here.
Okay, great. I'll watch for it.
In the meantime, guys, if anybody has any questions, anything comes up, or hey, I should have asked Joe this while we were on, you can certainly DM me, or you can message me at there is my email address. And yeah, Sarah, we'll talk more. I'll message you and we'll find a time to talk about the pack a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate you and everything.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And as always,
thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sarah.
And as always, have your pets spayed and neutered.
Always.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye.